This is where we get to the nitty gritty and really see what's inside the child and kind of all those things that might be causing those symptoms on top that we see and we look at as autism. But actually, when you scratch beneath the surface, there's so much under there that we can do to help our children. And actually, today I'm sharing one of Rose's, my daughter's stool test from back in the day when we were going through healing. So this is even more sort of personal and exciting to me. So so I'm just going to start really and just show you this. So as you can see here, this is a snapshot of a stool test for Rose. And this is when we'd actually done some work. So this wasn't her first stool test. This is actually an improvement on the original stool testing that we did. But this is one of the ones that has quite a lot of imbalance on it. So I wanted to show you this because, you know, a lot of this is what I see commonly in practice. So for your kids with, you know, some of the symptoms that I'm going to discuss, you know, some of these issues might be there for them also. And we could, you know, all of this is reversible, as I know, because I've gone through it with my daughter and hundreds of other children that I work with. So first of all, the symptoms that we saw. So when Rose was in this zone, when we had this stool test, we saw insatiable appetite. So, I mean, she would eat constantly, and it was like she wasn't a big human either. She was quite emaciated. You know, she actually looked like, you know, we'd starved her. And actually all my family used to comment on, oh, you know, just let her have another one, let her have another one of this and that, because they thought we were starving her. But actually, when, you know, her body was just not absorbing anything, and we'll move on to that when we go through the lab. So insatiable hunger, sleep was a very big issue for us. So she would get up multiple times in the night. At this point, it had got a bit better, but I'll move on to why some of that happens. Another thing that we found that was really stark was it was like severe brain fog. So her brain, the way I describe it, it was drunk. And I say this a lot to people when we're going through stool testing and looking at some of the bacteria that can cause this sort of fogginess in the brain. And we'll talk about those after. But it was like, I've got a video actually, and maybe I'll share it one day. But we were having a conversation and I was trying to talk to her about a specific topic. And I remember her brain was just not, it was like she was drunk, and that's the way I can describe it, like words very slurring and just kind of like, you know, it was like her brain wanted to speak but it couldn't, and she was sort of stuck. And then the other thing that was really stark was she had an extremely bloated stomach, like, and it was so hard and firm and the gas I mean, it was so like noxious, and it smelt of like rotten egg, and honestly she would clear a room if she and the other thing that we noticed around this time was that specific foods that we thought would be really helpful would cause the same sort of symptoms that you would see if she ate sugar. And so if she ate, I remember one night we gave her, like, there were a load of vegetables left after dinner, and it was like cauliflower and broccoli, and there were and Brussels, like really cruciferous veg. And she was like, oh, can I, you know, because she was always starving. So we were like, yeah, that's fine, just eat the veg, you know, a movie night, this big massive platter of vegetables. And honestly, like the reaction after was like, it was like we just fed her a bag of Haribo, like a family sized bag. She was climbing the walls, like she was hyperactive and like, you know, really sort of inappropriate laughter, falling about all over the place like she was drunk. And that was sort of what we see. And like just sort of her functionality was very low. And so I want to talk to you about this lab and how it sort of manifests in those symptoms, because it's so important for us to know the intricacies of like what is going on inside the body when you see those surface level symptoms that we call autism, basically, which, you know, we know are not. So